You know, it seems like way back in the beginning days of the backyard carpenters, baby boomers can do, there was a lawnmower in the background. So we have a lawnmower going on in the background. But today, I'm Van, and Jane is somewhere doing her little thing. We just got back from the Y, trying to stay in shape. But anyway, so today we're going to address a drawer that is made out of particle board. Oh, there you go. They got wet. Alright, so what will happen is I'll remove this, you know, that got expanded. See, it got expanded and just falling apart like oatmeal. And I'll be using this piece of lumber to replace it. It's going to have to be cut to length and to width, right? And then probably thickness, right? Because this is 3/4 inch, and I think I'm going to be cutting it down with my planer down to 1/2 inch. But anyway, let's get started. By the way, you're not hearing music in the background. Okay, I made a measurement on the side of the drawer and found out that this piece is 17.5 inches. This is a combo saw because you can do multiple combos of angles. It is 12-inch slide. Now, let me show you how to release it so we can use it. Push down slightly right here. There's a release right here. Let's see, let me get my arm out of the way. All right. There's a release right here that I'm pulling back, and that releases the saw. Then I'm going to push this button. Let me show you where the button is. Let's drop this down just a little bit. All right, there you go. Well, not quite. All right, this is your thumb button. Okay, well, that's your thumb button. All right, now what that does is that locks it in place. So all I want is a 90-degree cut. I'm not making any fancy 45s or anything. So anyway, so I'm getting ready to measure this and cut it at 17.5 inches. Then I'm going to have to cut it to width and thickness. Now, no, that's not music in the background. All right, I'm measuring on my piece of board. All right, 17.5. All right. With tape that actually has, this is called a cheater rule because it's got numbers at the bottom. And it's also got stuff on the back to show you, that this is 8, 16, 32, nail sizes, again, nail sizes, all right, wood screw sizes. So this thing's got a little bit of all the information, and it locks in place until you're ready for it. Uh-oh. That's the good news that the mailman went by and didn't leave us any bills. Oh, good news. All right, so now, this is a Swanson Speed Square. Swanson came up with this idea about 1927. This is triangle or diamond, right? It's patented. But this thing, if you know how to use one, you can make any kind of cut. In this case, we're just doing a 90-degree cut. So I made my mark, and now I'm going to mark this across here. Well, my pencil wouldn't break. Jeez. And it's not even Monday. Alright. So, alright, in this case I'm going to keep the line, so I'm going to be cutting to the left-hand side of my line. So I'm adjusting a little bit. And this has got a safety feature on it that I have to push to the left. Alright, that's my piece at 17. Now, I got to go back to my drawer, and it's got to be cut down to a 1/4 1/4. 1/4 1/4. Alright, in this case, I'm 5.5, so I got to cut this down to a 1/4 1/4. So now, we're going to set this aside, this saw aside, and go get my planer. Okay, actually what I need next is my table saw, and I'm going to show you how to put, this is a portable table saw on wheels and stand. So you got to release this leg, right, then release this leg, and down below, these twist, right, they twist and lock in place, right. Alright, then I'm going to push it forward and me. There you go. And make sure I don't hit the camera. Oh! Alright. So now I'm gonna move it over just a little bit. Alright. Not gonna plug it up yet. Alright. So let me show you the scale on this table saw. Alexa, level 2. Okay. Oh yeah. Oh, it is not. Right. Now this table saw, what I'm doing is I want to cut this little groove out right here. All right, there we go. This little groove right here. So I've got my saw raised up to where it's just barely going to go through the material. So let's cut this out. Now, unfortunately, until I get the adapter from a vacuum cleaner, this is going to spray sawdust against the wall. But here we go. There's a button, green button you push. Oh, would help to plug it up. Now here's a cord that's wrapped around its own little cord space. Now I'm about to plug it up. Alright, now she's plugged up. Safety, safety, safety. Oh, by the way, there's a switch over on, let's see, this goes, span this out. Alright, there's a switch for this over here that I have to release it to be able to run this back and forth. I'll show you that in just a second. Let's make this first cut. There's a green button I'm pushing. Push stick. Alright, that's my first cut. Now we're going to turn around, and the way this works is I have a release switch over here. You just heard it pop, and then I can roll this to where I need it, which is 4 1/4. All right, going to double check my measurement. I'm going to go over here to the drawer just for a second with my rule. All right, let's spin this around. All right, spin it around to the. All right, and bring it up. Ooh, there you go. All right, there's my drawer, and it says that I am at 4 1/4, right? 4 1/4. So let's spin her back around and do this next cut. So what I'm doing, let's zoom in a little bit so you can see the scale. All right, zoom in, drop her down. Alright, so I've released my switch, and I can spin back and forth, and I'm looking for 4 1/4 on my scale. I found my 4 1/4 on the scale. That's right across here, and then I'm locking it back. Again, here's my push stick. Push, push, push stick. Alright. That's to keep my fingers from getting close to that blade. So here we go. So now this is cut at 4 1/4. Let's back it up just a little bit. 4 1/4 and 17.5 inches. And I'm being disturbed by my wife.
Yes, you are.
Okay, so we now have cut the width of our board and the length of our board. Now we need to know the thickness of our board, and the old one is at 1/2 inch. So now we got to set up our planer to plane down the board, which is now 3/4 inch down to 1/2 inch. We'll do like 32nd inch at a time. So let's set that up. So what I've done is I've set my planer up. This is how you adjust. Or let's back up. Back. Can I back up? No, that's getting close. All right. Let's back up a little bit. All right. Raise her up a tad. There you go. Now let's try it. Okay. See this handle that's barely in. All right. That adjusts the height, lowers or raises it up. So we know this is 3/4 inch. We got to cut down to 1/2. I've set it up right at 3/4 inch. Let's get my vacuum cleaner going. Alright, here we go. Alright, that's the first round. Alright, now, what you do, is you set this gauge. Alright, it's hard to see, but there's a gauge right here. I'm setting on 0, and I'm going to spin it around to go down, because it got a little arrow that says down, and I'm going to do a 32nd of an inch. Alright, 32nd of an inch. I want to clean up this side this time. Alright, here we go. So that's a 32nd of an inch. We are still at a little less than 3/4 of an inch. We got to get down to 1/2 an inch. So again, we got to set it on 0, and this time I got to do 3/64 of an inch. My vacuum cleaner on, and I just got hit with salt. Alright, so I'm going to keep doing this, and I'll show you when I've gotten closer to 1/2 an inch. It's amazing to me what gray tape can do. I was able to gray tape the adapter on the planer and also on my table saw, and it's reducing the amount of sawdust. Alright, so this is now been planed down to 1/2 an inch to match this 1/2 an inch right here. Now, next thing I got to do is show you how I got to remove this old particle board and put solid wood. All right. This is an oscillating tool, right? And it's got this blade that will actually go through metal and wood. So you push this lever down to load this into it. I say it's going to load it into it. Try it one more time. Ooh, I had to go in the wrong direction. Sorry about that. See how easy that was because I had to go in the right direction. All right. Now this required a battery. So let me go get a loaded the battery. It's just a matter of, all right, here's the bottom, there's the battery, loading in the battery. Just like that. Now this is how it oscillates back and forth, right? So, because I've got staples, I use staples on that drawer, I got to use this to, remove that board that's gotten wet. So let's drop it down a little bit so we can see what we're doing. Alexa, level 3. Here we go. Alright, round 2. What I'm doing is taking this cool little, I forgot the name of it, but anyway, and I'm going along here, and I'm just kind of bringing this out like so, okay? Then I'm going to hit it now with my oscillating saw to get rid of these staples. Right. Now the staples have been cut, so now I can pull this off, and it's just pitiful, pitiful, pitiful. This is particle board that gets wet. That's what happens to it. So we're getting ready to put solid wood. Now the next thing I got to do is I got to make this groove on my table saw on my new piece of wood. Next process in what we're doing is trying to match that groove right there because the bottom goes in that groove. All right, so what I've done is I've taken my blade and brought it up Alright, so it looks like I got to go down just a tidget more, alright, to make sure I'm not too deep. Alright, and then I brought my drip fence over to match the first cut I'm going to do. I'm going to have to do a series of cuts to be able to match that groove. You can get what they call a dado set of knives that will cut that groove all at once, but I'm going to be doing one pass at a time. Let us put our safety glasses on. I got my safety gloves on now, and we're going to turn the vacuum cleaner back on, trying to cut down on the amount of dust and do this thing. All right. Now I'm going to take this and slide it down and it fits. Now it's just a matter of going to get the brad nailer and brad nailing this in place. And then my lovely, beautiful wife, she's going to be the one that caulks it and puts it in place. This together to really make it tight. Okay, and now the matter of going to get the brad nail and brad nail these in place. Alright. Oh, I'm still recording? I didn't know that. Alright. I just took up my brad nail. I got 1-inch brads inside of it. And see, there's 1-inch brads that I put in place. Now it's just a matter of putting the brad, line this up and putting the brad right here. And then another brad right there. Alright, I'm going to the other side. Alright, and we're going to put brad real close down here. Okay, I got to make an adjustment of this down here, so I'll be right back. Alright, after examining the other side, I realized that there's a gap on the other side. So I got to go retrieve the brad nailer. Alright. Now I'm going to put a nail down here. One right there. Remove the clamp. Am I in the way so y'all can't see that? Alright, remove the clamp. Put one right there. And one right there. Alright, let's go back to this one now and add another nail. Alright. The drawer is done. Now it's time for my lovely wife to do her caulking thing, and then paint. Introducing the one and only Jane White. All right, she has been voted the #1 caulker painter of the year for the whole state of Alabama.
Yeah, his vote was the only one there was.
All right, so what she's got to do now is along this edge right here, if I can get. She got to caulk along there, okay, and then she got to paint the board, right? Because it's just raw wood right now. But we've actually taken and tried it out, and it worked. So once she gets through painting it, then we'll put the front handle back on. So now she takes over with the caulking process. She's going to caulk here, she'll caulk back here, along here, and then when that's dry, she'll paint it. All right, so. Come over here for me. So, there she is. So anyway, so we'll show you the finished product once she's completely done with it. But right now, that's as far as I can go. Now she's going to take over.
My turn.
Her turn. Mm-hmm. Bye.
Bye. So you're totally done with the caulking? Yep.
I was just a little late with the camera work, right?
Yep, I can't wait all day for you.
Yeah, okay. Thank you very much. I love you too.